it that
The
way.
Moses method,
The
really,
Moses method is a fascinating concept.
it
Go
is.
ahead.
And we applied that with another concept of,
principles?
taking life too serious. Like, for example, everyone's a fear of death, where if we may go in the rabbit hole in this episode to where, why do you fear death when it's just it's like you're waking up from a dream, like when you go to sleep and you wake up in the morning.
I don't think we never die.
That's right. You don't. As a matter of fact, it's a physical death and a spiritual, right?
It's a change.
It's a change.
It's a change in your life.
And the way I like to say it is, we die in this world so we don't have to die spiritually from what we learn in this world.
But the Moses method, you need to know the story.
Yes.
Remember? All right.
Yes.
Moses is asked by God to go back and get the children of Israel out of Egypt. And he doesn't want to do it, right? And he gives all kinds of excuses and everything. And God says, no, you need to do it. And he finally says, okay, I'm going to do it. So he goes and he brings them. And then here he is with all these former slaves in the middle of nowhere. And I mean in the middle of nowhere. I've been there, okay? It's out in the desert. It's a mess.
You went to Mount Sinai?
Huh?
Was it Mount
Sinai.
Yeah. You went there?
That's where they were going. And so he's out there, and they are causing all kind of problems. Everything's a mess. You're talking about hundreds of thousands maybe of people. And he doesn't know what he's doing, and he's trying to run it, and he's trying to do this, and he's doing that, and they're asking this, and they're asking him that, and he's a mess. And he finally goes to God and makes this wonderful comment, by the way. He says, did I birth these people? Or do I have this responsibility? They're yours, and all this kind of stuff. And his father-in-law says what?
You can't handle all of the questions all the time, and you'll spend your entire time answering everyone's questions all the time. They all went to him, every single one. Hundreds of thousands of people.
And so Jethro says to him, here's what you need to do. You can't be the head guy and do all this by yourself.
Right.
You can't do it. So here's what you need to do. You're going to have to let go of a certain amount of the power that you have, and you're going to have to bestow it on others.
Right.
Okay? And give them not only the authority, the responsibility, but the authority to make certain decisions that doesn't have to come to you. And you're going to do it in terms of thousands, hundreds, tens, whatever, 50s,
Is that what
100s.
created the tribes, ultimately?
Well, no, the tribes were already around because they were based on family relations. But they did divide those tribes up into families. And it worked in a way that the numbers worked. And guess what? Now it worked. Now things started operating, okay? And so that was the first step, okay? That's the first
They needed to
concept.
figure that out. That took some figuring, I'd imagine. That some time, obviously direction, and figuring it out. Recently I talked about it last time, I believe, and I recently found this out in my own life. That it took me a long time, roughly 40 years, to figure out my purpose in God's arena.
Yeah.
Maybe the Jews were going through that in the desert for 40 years for the same reason.
Certainly they did, and take another lap.
Yeah.
But, so it starts there where you have to give up a certain amount of your ego, a certain amount of your pride, a certain amount of the sense that I'm the boss.
I'm in control.
I'm trying to be.
Delusion.
Yeah, we're going to talk about control more in a minute. I've got to give up some control, and I got to empower other people.
Power, very important.
Empower other people, okay? And that's what Moses started that, okay? Moses started that process. You got to put it in what you do. If you're in business for yourself, or you're in business or where you have some authority within the framework, that's a wonderful method to look at. That's the Moses method. Okay? But it doesn't end with Moses. We're going to talk about Jesus too within the framework of this, because there's something in all of us that wants to control what happens to us. Okay?
It's driven by fear.
Yeah. It is. It's driven by fear. If I don't have control, what could happen?
Could happen.
Okay? And a lot of it's bad, granted. But, you know.
The unknown is fearful, and
Yes.
that's the control that people seem to think they're losing when they didn't have control to begin with.
See, that's the reality, is that